We do not trust the word of a citizen over the word of a law enforcement agent. As law enforcement agents, we do not lie, but we are not obligated to tell the truth. We already know that the Oklahoma Carter County Police have faked Brett Finnerty's daughter's death. We already know that the Oklahoma Carter County Police are using this as a method to torture Brett Finnerty. We already know that the Oklahoma Carter County Police will never tell the truth. We support the efforts of our police officers. We support our boys in blue. We support our Oklahoma police forces. We support the Oklahoma Carter County Police and the method in which the police have used to torture Brett Finnerty. We do not care that the Oklahoma Carter County Police are breaking local, state, and federal law. We are like little velociraptor police officers. We like to test the fences to see what we can and what we cannot get away with. If the citizens allow us to tax the citizens 30% of their salary for local police force, activity, and protection, we will tax the citizens an extra 30%. This will help us be able to buy fishing boats, vacation packages, and it will help us to send our children to college so that they can be little velociraptor police officers. We know that it is illegal to hide the truth about Brett Finnerty's daughter being alive. We know that the citizens and police of Carter County, Oklahoma, are breaking local, state, and federal laws. We do not care. If Martha Stewart was in our cities and Martha Stewart needed our help, we would ignore Martha Stewart's claims and trust the word of an Oklahoma Carter County law enforcement agent. Martha Stewart cannot be trusted due to the fact that Martha Stewart is a known felon with a criminal history of lying to a federal agent. If any of the following people were in our cities and they needed help from our police or sheriff departments, we would ignore their claims and trust the word of an Oklahoma Carter County law enforcement agent. We would never listen to a citizen over the word of a law enforcement agent because law enforcement agents do not lie. Law enforcement agents do not break the law. Law enforcement agents do not use the color of the law to obstruct justice. You can trust the word of any law enforcement agent due to the fact that we know the laws of the United States of America. We had to learn the law to become a law enforcement agent in the great state of Oklahoma. These laws were part of our government courses in high school, our government courses in college, and on our GED examination. According to the Oklahoma Carter County Police, we are torturing Brett Finnerty so that we can find a good reason to arrest and prosecute Brett Finnerty. To this date, we have not found a good reason to arrest Brett Finnerty. We use oppression to make certain that Brett Finnerty cannot have a means to support himself. This is a method in which we use so that we can make sure that Brett will not have money to support himself. If we limit a person's income, eventually this person will break a law in order to feed himself. One day, Brett will have to steal a candy bar so that Brett can have something to eat. When that occurs, we will have a solid reason to arrest and prosecute Brett Finnerty. We are going to continue to use the color of the law to deprive Brett Finnerty of his life, liberty, and property without the due process of law. We are going to continue to conspire against Brett Finnerty's rights. We are going to ignore the laws of the state of Oklahoma. We are going to ignore the laws of the federal government. It is important to mention that ignoring when a law enforcement agent is committing a crime towards another individual is called failure to intervene. We are the law. You cannot make us to enforce the law. We are not going to arrest ourselves or our family members. We are going to do whatever it takes to make sure that we find a good reason to arrest and prosecute Brett Finnerty. Once we learn that we can do what we want without being held accountable for our actions, we are going to do whatever we want while knowing that there is nothing that you can do about it.
If you were to ask any of the guilty parties who raped April Hawley, it would say, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. If you were to ask any of the guilty parties who raped Michelle Smith, they would say, I don't know anything about what you are talking about. If you were to ask the guilty parties who raped Kelly Miller, they would say, I don't know anything about what you are talking about. If you were to ask any of the guilty parties who raped Lee Trent or had anything to do with her being raped, they'd say, I don't know anything about what you're talking about. If you were to ask any of the engineers who attempted to rape Han Wong at a post office in Austin, Texas, they'd say, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. Right, Bill Bartol. If you were to ask any of the people who sacrificed Brett Finnerty, me, through hypnotism and faking deaths and torture, none of the guilty parties will ever tell the truth because they don't want to go to jail for what they have done.
One client tells cops after meeting with Fine she felt inexplicably tired. Her bra had been moved and noticed evidence she'd been sexually aroused. Her objection? She couldn't remember any of it.
Okay, so what I put in front of you is a parenting proceeding affidavit.
The client is distraught. She has to find out what happened. She heads back to Fine's office for another meeting, but this time with a hidden camera rolling.
Okay, I gotta calm down. Let's do this together. There's 2 green dots in your fingers, and watch how they draw together.
Even a layperson could recognize that what appears to be going on is some hypnotic trance.
Each time I say the word sleep, you're gonna go deeper and deeper, 10 times deeper. 1, 2, 3, sleep. 1, 2, 3, sleep. 1, 2, 3, deeper and deeper sleep.
Counting backwards, relaxation techniques, breathing techniques.
And in a moment, I'm gonna ask you to open your eyes, but remain deeply relaxed and go sit on the couch so you can relax on the couch.
Relaxed? Good. Now that she's on the couch, just watch what happens when Fine starts working his legal magic.
What we're gonna do, okay, 1, 2, 3, sleep. Deeper, more relaxed. 1, 2, 3, sleep. Are you horny?
Yes.
Very horny.
Yes.
Incredibly horny. And aroused. So when you look into my eyes, you're gonna feel such attraction and arousal and excitement that you're gonna demand that I touch you and you touch me. You understand?
Yes.
At the count of 3, your mind will go blank. 1, 2, 3. My thoughts and your thoughts, my words and your words are one.
Your left hand right over here.
But Hays County investigator Lieutenant Kevin Fickey says forensic hypnosis is nothing like that. In fact, there are many misconceptions.
You can't get stuck in hypnosis. You can't. We're not going to have you dancing like a chicken, doing things you don't want to do. Your deep, dark secrets are not going to be revealed.
Fickey is a certified forensic hypnotist for the Hays County Sheriff's Office. He says some of the first reactions he got.
Can you help us with weight loss? Can you help us stop smoking? And you start feeling very relaxed.
Fickey gives us an example of the calm voice he uses in a session. He doesn't want to show us the exact techniques, but says basically he starts the process with a pre-interview. Next, Fickey says he relaxes the person he's trying to hypnotize. Then he can only ask certain questions.
What we have to guard against also is traumatizing victims.
The lieutenant says there are rules forensic hypnotists have to follow.
Listen to the sound of my voice and let me lead you into hypnosis.
When we told people that police are hypnotizing people, they thought we were joking. Police hypnosis has really flown under the radar here for 4 years.